Welcome back to the Brew Crew podcast, everyone. This is episode 108. 108, and we are live on location at Crooked Handle in Springboro, Ohio. We are here with probably the new voice of the podcast because it's basically the best voice we have.
We just decided now we're going to pitch you.
Yeah, we're pitching you as a member of the Brew Crew podcast. Jason Moore, head brewmaster at Crooked Handle. Welcome to the show.
Outstanding. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. We're really, really excited to be here. We've been pumped about this for a couple weeks. We did come here pre-COVID. Chris and I came here.
Episode 67.
Episode 67. Man, it's so long ago. We're now at 108. We tried every beer. And by the end of the episode, I think we had some fun.
It was getting difficult towards the end.
But you messaged us and said, "Oh man, I wish you would have we would have connected because we tried and we did. We finally connected. So here we are, episode 108. We're here at Crooked Handle with you, Jason.
Sounds great. Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to. We'll get into a lot of the things that are going on with Crooked Handle. Tons of stuff is happening. New beers, new foods. But do you want to maybe provide a brief maybe history or just description of how you kind of sell the brewery or just the history?
Sure. So Crooked Handle started like a lot of local breweries in a garage, right? So home brewing.
Great.
My brother-in-law got me into home brewing probably about 15 years ago now, and we started this thing up in a horse farm garage where we were living. My past life, I was a farrier, horseshoer. My wife was a professional horse trainer, so we had nothing to do with beer other than drinking a lot of it.
Yeah, right.
Decided to start making it, right? So we got some igloo coolers and turkey fryer and a kettle that we outgrew rather quickly and just brewed nonstop every weekend. And
That's awesome.
And that was in 2008?
That would have been, probably was. Yeah,
wow.
around then. It's been a while because we opened in 2015, so we were at it for a minute, just making all kinds of different beers, growing the equipment. It finally turned into a half barrel, full electric kettle pilot system, which we use now for the experimental brew program, and just giving beers away to anybody that would drink it and give us feedback. And then as the boom started happening here in Dayton, we were both kind of getting tired of what we were doing day to day with our previous jobs. It's like, well, let's go for it. So put a business plan together with our best friends who are our partners now and started shopping it around. We had a couple tasting events where we pulled in a couple hundred people just to try our own brew and see if we could get some good honest feedback, because your friends will lie to you if they get free beer.
Right. 100%.
Great, I love it.
So we got some good feedback, enough that we weren't making anybody sick, and fired away. And we ended up finding some investment and then found the space here at Dorothy Lane Market Shopping Center in 2014. Construction started, and we opened Christmas Day of 2015.
Yeah.
So humble beginnings, grassroots.
Jeez, 5 years.
Turkey fryer and an igloo cooler. And
has the 5 years here in this space flown by?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's it's amazing. I can't believe we're coming on the verge of that already.
Yeah, I live like 3 miles that away, not far at all. And I moved here like 3 years ago, and it feels like I moved in this past summer. It's just, everything's flown by.
It's been, and then this year is just, we know it's been crazy. So I feel like I've already lost half of 2020.
Yeah.
You mentioned it, and one of the really unique things I thought was when you guys opened up, it was Christmas Day of 2015. What went into what went into that decision? Because that's bold.
Well, like every other brewery that was under construction, we were months behind.
Chopping at the bit to sell
we
beer.
wanted to open, I think originally around Halloween. Then we were like, well, maybe we can pull it off on Thanksgiving. And then it's like, Christmas is it. We had one bartender. Well, actually, it's not true. When we opened, it was just my wife and I bartending. Our full-time bartender was with us on our soft opening, and she had already had vacation plans, so she was gone.
Yeah.
Keisha, who's still with us today, our first hire, has been amazing. But we were just thrown to the wolves, and we had a line out the door on Christmas Day. We had four beers, probably of which I wouldn't even drink right now. But it worked. We got it going, and started growing. Seems like weekly since then.
So you had a line out the door on Christmas Day.
Yeah, it was
That's
crazy.
Great.
Merry Christmas indeed.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Because you have those fears going in, but then that supported your decision having a line out the door.
Oh, for sure. And Springboro's been amazing. It's a great community, a lot of local support, and it's been well worth it. So we're happy to be here.
Now, we've talked about, and then pre-production we were talking about some of the philanthropical things that you're going to be doing. But what do you think of the Southwest Ohio beer scene as a whole, especially since you joined in 2015? You were a little ahead of that curve, where then it just everyone was popping up.
Yeah, I think it's been amazing that there's been so many pop up. We had 3 new ones, I think, just this year in the Dayton area pop up.
Right, yeah.
Loose Ends just opened this weekend, and nobody's closing. So everybody's either growing, expanding some way or another, pushing their business, pushing their beers. Yeah. It's been pretty amazing to watch and be a part of it. It feels like now we've been here forever, even though it's only been 5 years. But seeing the new guys come in and the excitement they bring and for the craft and creating this place for people to come hang out. And it's pretty awesome to see. And we all get along, which is the other great part that you don't find in most industries. It's, of course, we're competition, right? But it doesn't feel that way. I could call up literally any one of these guys in Dayton and say, hey, I need this or that or whatever. And they're like, yeah, man, come get it, whatever you need. And
I have noticed that. It's a really cool. Tight community.
It's amazing.
The whole beer scene as a whole, toxic. I mean, anyone and everyone kind of, absolutely. Everyone's very friendly and open and inviting. So it's really neat to see.
Before the 2020 plague hit, we would get together every month, and there'd be 15 or so of the breweries at least represented. We'd pop it out into a different brewery each month and just have a social, hang out, drink some beers, talk, and
like a meeting of the family.
Meeting of the family, yeah. We usually do a Christmas time bottle share and have some food and get everybody together and hang out, talk shop and what's going on. And it's been a blast, man.
Does anyone have a deeper voice than you? Like when you when you decide to make a decision, everyone hops on Jason's bandwagon and Crooked Handle's bandwagon.
Yeah, I'm now one of the leaders of the passport program. So that's it's been a trip.
That's awesome.
A face for radio.
So I know you were talking about the humble beginnings, being a farrier, and I grew up on a dairy farm and we raised horses, and so I know. Very thankless job. The inspiration to go from garage brewer to opening your own place in a short 7 years, was it just getting beat up and then your partner Pedro?
Definitely. Yep.
So you just over a couple of years decided to create your own path in the world and
yeah, pretty much. I mean, we were at that point. We were planning vacations around breweries, Asheville, Colorado, things like that.
I've done that before.
Yeah, of course. And visiting these places and talking to the owners and how inviting they are and just speaking to the industry and how they got started. It's inspiring, right, to be a part of something like that. And we were just like, man, let's do it. Let's see if we can pull this off. And we did. We're growing. Not growing crazy package-wise with canning, but kitchen. We're always adding stuff in here, tanks.
Yeah.
We're looking at a second location potentially, something a little bit bigger than this. But yeah, we're
second location. Wow.
We're definitely hanging out in Springboro. We're not going to leave this place, but we love it.
Yeah. Chuggalos, I'll flip it around so you can see kind of the production when we get refills here, because this is going to go quickly. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're getting the worst view right here. The view is way better that way. Does this encompass all of the brewing?
It is, yep. It does? Every drop's made right there.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I'm just going to do it right now since we're talking about it.
I was curious if that was everything or if you had some, an off-site location that...
No, it's all made right here. It's and it's pretty labor-intensive at this size. There's good and bad, right? So with a smaller system like this, you can be pretty nimble.
Yeah.
I can knock out a new style and you're not going to be sitting on it for months and months and months.
When I look at you, I definitely think nimble.
Yeah, right? That's why I hit my head on walking through the door. So that's an advantage of this. The disadvantage, of course, is you're brewing all the time. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of work. It's nonstop, 3 or 4 days a week. And then I've got an assistant brewer, Ken, who not only runs the experimental brew program, but he comes in and helps prep and clean tanks and kegs and just takes some of the load off that way. And he's been awesome. We sent him to Cincinnati State, had a brewing science course, so we sent him down there and paid for his tuition to go to that. Graduated 4.0. Great guy, super smart, loves beer.
Wow.
Been a great big help, Crooked Handle. So we're proud
That's
of having
awesome.
All hands
That's
on
awesome
deck.
that you kind of stepped up and helped him out with the bills for that.
We're getting closer.
That's intense.
We want to bring him on full time, and we're getting closer to that, especially with the kitchen being added. The beer's moving a lot faster.
Yeah.
So we're looking to get him in here because he wants to be here all the time.
So that was part of your growth, right? That you added a kitchen here recently.
Yeah, we just put in a full kitchen. It it actually went into our office, which is way too big for an office, right? It just worked out that we could squeeze a kitchen in that space.
Nice.
That's great.
So we moved our office to the end of the hallway and then put in a full kitchen. I mean, grill, flat top, fryers, hood. I mean, the whole deal. It's a scratch kitchen, and they're cranking out some really good food.
Yeah, I'm looking at the menu here, and I would love to have the CHBC, man. That thing looks
that's a monster.
fantastic.
Yeah, the wings are smoked here, smoked out back, and then fried to finish. The pastrami we smoke here that goes on the Reuben and the barbecue burger. All the sauces, dips, dressings, everything's scratch made. I mean, the only thing it's not made in house are like French fries.
Wow.
Those come from a supplier, but he's doing a really good job with the food. James Tam, Steve knows well, and they've been a great team. And there's 5 of them back there now.
Yeah, if you just go to crookedhandle.com and then check out the reviews, everyone in the last few months is lauding the food.
Yeah.
It's a explosive area of growth just from, doing the back research. And we were talking about it ahead of time. It's just like the food. Everyone is commenting on the food. So if you want to come get good beer and good food at the same, this is your place for sure. Just look at all the comments online.
We're definitely missing something. People like the carry-in aspect of it, which a lot of breweries had, or a food truck or whatever. But it's inconsistent, and people like to have food in house.
It's convenient.
Right.
It's convenient.
Yeah.
It's easy. We can control it that way to where with food trucks or outside vendors, it's will they show up? Will they not show up? Are they going to leave early? Are they going to get a flat tire on the way? Or whatever. Do you have to walk out in the rain to get it?
Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
lot of things that while they're great and they were a huge help to us, it's you have a lot more control and consistency and quality by doing it in house.
Yeah.
And we found the right person to take that on. So it's been a great expansion.
And
Not necessarily during COVID, but
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I prior to COVID, this was, and I'm pointing here, Chugalo's out into the street. That's all blocked off now. You've got an extended patio, right?
Right. ODLC Liquor Control, they loosened up the restrictions on extending your premise to where it didn't have to be like a fixed barrier and all that stuff.
Okay.
So we could do ropes and planters and things like that. And then the city was on board for sure, and the fire department, landlord, they're like, whatever you guys got to do, get the people in there and keep them spaced out and safe. I mean, you look around, all of our tables are 6 feet apart. We've got these dividers up. If anything that can't be 6 feet apart, all of our staffs are wearing, masks and sanitizing everything even more than normal and trying to do it as safely as possible.
It's good that the city was like, yes, figure out get creative with the solution and
we're
get it out there.
Probably going to put a tent over the back patio, hopefully this winter, so we can keep those seats as well, because that's kind of our next stage now is prepping for winter. Is if all these restrictions stay in place, which I'm sure they're going to be through the year.
Right.
Then we're going to lose quite a bit of seating up front, and we got to still maintain the order in here.
And that really builds on you've lauded your relationship with the city of Springboro.
Yeah.
It's been paramount to allow you to do that and then eventually expand out back.
Yeah,
So.
they've been great to work with. The city of Springboro is amazing, and so is our landlord.
Good.
So you talked about your first hire. You talked about where the beer's made and your progress through time, up to COVID times. But can you give us an idea of like how big or how much beer are you producing or pumping out? Obviously nothing, no money-wise stuff. I'm just saying.
Sure.
How much beer are you putting out? How much money do you make per year?
I'm going to need your account numbers. Don't worry.
I'm just stalling because I had 2 questions in that question, and I'm only thinking of the how much beer do you pump out. I can't remember what the other one was. Oh yeah, where can you be found? And if so, where can you be found outside of this facility?
Production-wise, this year we're probably going to be around 400 barrels, which is off what we normally do because there was 3 or 4 months there where we weren't brewing. Max capacity we can do close to 600 with this system. So there is a limitation there. That's why primarily we don't do a lot of distribution. We pretty much brew for in-house, which is obviously where the money is. As you mentioned, the cash flow. We can be found normally, like right now we're at Archer's Tavern in Centerville. We're at Submarine House. When UD's playing, we're at the arena all during basketball season.
Fantastic.
Chappie's has had us, Dorothy Lane, trying to think on a regular basis. There's a few in draft.
Yeah, we talk about Dorothy Lane quite often on the podcast, so that's a good one to mention.
Great neighbors.
That they're available there.
Yeah, and we do have cans available here right now, and then all of our other draft is available in crowlers. We're doing the twist top crowlers for it goes. So
we also have a ongoing, not a conflict between us, but a conversation and a debate, and this extends to like the universe, really.
Oh, please, I hope. Please go there.
I don't know if this is where you're going, but I'm a huge beer fan. My wife's a huge beer fan, but we try to be very specific about where we go with kids. You have food now, and that's our line.
Yeah.
If you have food, I feel safe bringing the kids. But other people, there's Facebook posts on like Dayton Beer Geeks where they talk about no, absolutely not, no kids. What's Crooked Handle's stance on if I want a beer and my kids want food, can I come here and have a Crooked Handle?
My kids
want beer. I just want food.
Of course you will say, yeah, you can have food and beer because you're going to bring your business here. But really, like, what's the environment? Is it suitable? And
objection, leading the witness.
You have an opinion. So you're saying I should come here with my kids? Is what you're saying?
Absolutely. We are family friendly.
Okay, that's my question.
We have been from the beginning. The food does help for sure.
Yeah,
you get some options for the kids and adults. So yeah, we're definitely family friendly. As long as you keep them near you.
Oh yeah, my kids.
They're not running around screaming, throwing stuff, and pulling bones out of barrels. But yeah,
fingering bung holes.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely family friendly.
It's hard to judge that. Like, I really want to go to this brewery, but like Warped Wing, they have like pinball machines and food, and you're like, well, clearly you can bring your kids here.
Right.
But there's like Branch and Bone. Well, they have games and stuff. But there's places where you go and you're like, I don't think I'd bring my kids here.
Yeah.
This isn't one of them. I'm just, as an indicator. It's hard to tell.
You know where I thought you were going with this?
Should you bring your kids to a brewery? It's this age-old question. Where?
I thought you were going with Ohio distribution thoughts.
No, I don't have distribution thoughts. I'm glad that they're available.
Yeah.
That's all I'm glad about, is that they're available. You can come here and take it to go. Which is good.
Do you have any thoughts, and this is a much bigger question, we could probably just do a whole podcast on that, but Ohio distribution thoughts, when you're a producer of a great product, and I know not production, but when and if you grow to that, about getting your product out into the community, compared to, so just a little bit of background, I'm from Wisconsin, into the Leinenkugels family. That's just my background. We got South Carolina, we've got a Chicago in here. So we're from all over the place, and this might be leading the witness too. Blue laws just blow our minds.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of, your thoughts in a nutshell on that.
Yeah, I mean, being able to self-distribute is huge.
It's 100, yeah.
Yeah, and if you can maintain it and all the logistics of it, I mean, again, why not control it yourself? Just like the food or whatever the case may be. Nobody's going to do it like you do it. And even if you hire a distributor, you still have to have a salesman. They're not going to push your product like you would.
Yeah, that's
100%.
At that point, they're a logistics and a delivery entity. I mean, you still have to have people out there with, banging on doors and moving your product, because we have reps come in all the time and they don't sell anything. I mean, it's like, here's what I got, unless they're getting some kind of incentive or whatever to push an X certain brand or whatever, then it's been great in Ohio because we can do it ourselves.
Right.
When I hear of other states, it's like, well, you got to sell it to ABC and then they sell it to whatever, and it's like, man, how's anybody making any money at that?
Right.
There's not much money in distribution as it is, let alone giving a cut of it to somebody else.
Or you get into like toxic agreements where you're not able to get out, and it's just enter, and then you're in the mafia for the rest of.
That's the problem with those. Yeah, they're so one-sided that you're locked in for life unless they decide to dump you for whatever reason. And there's some things I found out that I didn't even know, that they can use your brands as capital to get funding elsewhere. And
100%.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that until very recently. I was talking to John Haggerty at Warped Wing, and it's like, but I can't do that. I can't take my brand and say, well, this brand's worth this much money, and go get equity out of it like a distributor can. It's wild. That's a leverage that they have against you. But at some point when you get so big, you need it. I mean, there's a lot of places that will self-distribute locally and then pull a distributor for other cities, farther away, Columbus, Cincinnati, or whatever. I think just because it is a manpower issue, and they've already got the logistics set up to handle that kind of volume. But we're a long way away from that. We're more tap room, local focus, which is what we've always wanted to be. And I'm kind of glad I'm at this place. I don't want to be fighting for the thousands of different beers that are on the shelves at Kroger's. Or
that's that's where distributors they're the ones that pick. So if you fall out of favor, you're not greasing the right palm.
Right.
I mean, you're getting put behind the Miller Lite or the Mick Ultra.
Yeah.
And
I think all the local brewers in this region all have different motives and ideas of what they want to do with their product and with their company. You see, Rheingeist just wants to just blow the roof off, right, and stretch its tentacles as far as it can. And then brewers like Branch and Bone, have no real desire to just grow it at any cost, right? I think they're very much more selective as to how they want to grow, if and when they want to grow.
Yeah, that's same for us. It's if I was in my 20s, maybe I'd be a little more aggressive, but I'm mid 40s now. It's like I don't want to jump into that and fight this for the next 20 years. And I just love the local feel. I love to have a place for people to come with their kids, without their kids, and just hang out and have a great time.
So you may expand to a second location here eventually.
Yeah, it wouldn't be so much for distribution. It would be just to have a larger space for events.
Right.
That's one thing we're lacking here, is to be able to rent a room out for private parties or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So it's more of a seating expansion versus production expansion. We'd probably go to a 7-barrel system versus a 3-barrel system.
Okay.
So we would have the ability to do some canning for in-house retail sales and small accounts and things like that, but nowhere near pushing out into a production model.
You get quite a few inquiries where people are like, can I?
Weekly, all the time.
And it just
kills
you a little bit?
And, well, now with the groups can't be more than 10, right? So now we get people, it's like, hey, we got 20 people. It's like, sorry, write your governor. I don't know what to do. It's like, it sucks.
Develop a vaccine.
Trying to keep everybody safe, but it's definitely stifling. But we have, there's calls all the time. We've had a couple this week that we want to rent, 20, 30 spots, even non-COVID. We couldn't do it.
Yeah.
We always said we would never shut down our normal business hours to bring in a party, because that just pisses people off that show up. Like, hey, I came from Cincinnati and didn't know you guys were closed for some private thing, and I got to turn around and drive an hour. We just never want to put our customers in that position. So that's just kind of our stance on it. We're limited with the space. We've crammed a seat in every possible section you can get in here until we can grow a little bit.
So when it comes to you personally, because you started this whole journey as a beer drinker, what's your favorite type of beer and what's your least favorite type of beer? We're gonna paint you into a corner right now.
That's all right. My least favorite type is probably the West Coast IPAs, like the
crazy. No!
I know.
That's gonna come up later.
This is years ago when they were just melt your face off IBU resin bitter. I didn't dig on that. I like them more now. They've toned them back a little bit, and the New Englands have kind of taken a different approach with the more tropical, which I like. I love sour beers, but we don't brew one here just because of the...
JT, no sours.
No sours today.
I got it.
But we do have a collab coming up with Pretentious in Columbus. We did a sour with them. We put it in 6 different wine barrels with 2 different Brett strains. And we'll have that in package and in draft here for our anniversary this year.
That sounds amazing.
Oh, wow.
I love sours.
So we're going to fruit it with, I think, black currant and one of them, and raspberry combination in the other one.
Oh, man.
So there'll be a couple variants, and they're going to be good. I love sours, Flanders. That's Great Gozes. That's usually my go-to on the menu. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's typically what I'm looking for.
Unfortunately,
when's your anniversary?
It'd be around December.
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas.
That's
Christmas,
right. Duh.
Christmas.
I was here for that conversation.
Yeah.
Christmas, got it. All right, I'll be here on Christmas.
So your favorite is sours?
Yeah, I love sours.
Oh,
I do.
Man after my own heart.
I love the sours. And then if I'm not drinking that, I'm usually drinking the blonde here.
That's so interesting, because when JT and I came here last time and we tried all the beers and there wasn't a sour on the menu, we just naturally made the assumption like, okay, well, the brewers or the owners don't, that's not their thing, and that's fine. That we are, we chase after sour and we're always on the hunt for it. So that's actually honestly really surprising. I thought you were going to be like, I love porters, I love stouts, all that stuff.
Because this is our 108th episode. We, for 75 of them, had an IPA or a sour. And a lot of the feedback we were getting is, you guys are just hopheads and sours. You guys aren't, you're ignoring 90% of the beer color wheel, if you will. So we've been going, back and delving into that. It's not that we don't enjoy them. It's just you go after what you enjoy. The market is flush with IPAs.
It is. And it's still the top selling brand, for sure.
And that's where we differ, because I'm more of a WIPA guy and they're the New England guys. So that's nice too, because we pair off each other well, and that's why this has worked. But sours is something we all agree on. So
I wish we could do them here, but I don't want to risk the contamination with everything being completely open air in here. I'd rather go to somebody like Pretentious and do a collab that's all they do is sour, and they're really good at it.
So with IPAs, if you're out and you're not drinking your own brand, I'm going to give you 2. And this is going to be a battle that I'm going to solve. They don't know what's coming. Boat show or truth? I think I know the answer after.
Boat show.
Dang it.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's right.
I love a lot of Rheingeiss beers, but that unfortunately is not one of my favorites. But I do enjoy boat show. We've had it on tap here, so actually we have both those beers on tap here.
Yeah. Both are good beers,
Yeah,
but
they
if I'm holding a gun to your
are.
head on a stepladder because you're
absolutely.
7'8".
Yeah.
But one thing that we really wanted to talk about was the community aspect and being involved in Springboro. Do you want to talk about your the 12 days of giving in the charity and the collaborations that you have coming up for your anniversary and the holiday season? In this COVID environment.
Yeah, for sure. So that's COVID is kind of why this has changed. So Christmas at Springboro is usually a huge event for Springboro downtown and historic Springboro.
Right.
It's a big party. There's a blowout. There's stuff down the street. It's a big fundraiser that goes towards several local charities, but because of everything going on now, they don't want to have the huge group of people downtown, obviously. So they've split it up, I think, between 5 or 6 local bar restaurants, and we're doing a collaboration beer. Basically, it's going to be 12 days long now instead of a weekend, so it's going to be like a bar hop passport program. So you get some kind of book that's going to get printed, and you go to each spot, get a stamp, and I think there's some prizes at the end of it. I'm not on that committee, so I'm going off memory of what I've been told. The beer side I am involved in, so us and Warp Wing, we're doing a collaboration beer. We're going to brew 7 barrels of it here. They're going to brew 7 barrels of it at the smokery down here. It's going to be a Kolsch that we're going to fruit with cranberry.
Nice.
We're going to look for a super bright red color out of it.
That sounds great.
Easy crusher, and then we'll distribute it out equally to the local bars and stuff. They're going to have it on tap, and then we'll have it here as well, obviously.
So that program is going to be very familiar to like the Ale Trail, like they do. Yeah. So you get the stamp, and if you have a drink at all the places.
Yeah, and then $1 of every pint that we sell, I think all the establishments sell, will go back to those local charities. So we're going to push it that direction as well. So
that's awesome.
This should be a great event. Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
And to help out those definitely less fortunate and affected by COVID.
Yeah.
Speaking of those less fortunate, is your worst employee's name, does it rhyme with thief?
Oh, he's the worst.
He is. He is. Chuggalo Steph, I'm getting the real digs. I don't even think you work here.
Let me pull his manager back.
Yeah, we don't see you here.
We don't see you here. You talk a big game. I think you're a fake. Any more questions? No. I'm getting thirsty.
Yeah, I think we should go around too.
I'm the only one talking.
I don't think we really went over the show. I said I would do that at the top of the show, but we just had too much to talk about. Basically, we started this podcast because we noticed that people are really like smug and pretentious about craft beer, and we wanted a resource for people who kind of just like want to drink beer,
sure,
and, like enjoy it. So. Every week
beer for dummies, but a podcast.
Beer for dummies, podcast form. Exactly. So we review.
It's actually beer with dummies. But.
Yeah, exactly.
So every week we have a 3-segment podcast where we talk about beer news and whether it's local or worldwide, and then we review 2 beers, and then we sometimes play a game, sometimes just talk in the 3rd segment. But so that's kind of our gist. So we're approaching now segment 2, which is our favorite part of the show. Drinking beer.
The beers.
Talking about it. We probably won't review it, but we'll talk about it. I mean, we can if you want, but
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Is there something you want us to review?
Yeah, is there something you'd like us to review?
And there is a game for you today, so don't think you're off the hook. There is a game specifically designed. Now, seeing how big you are, that might not be a game anymore. I might have to switch spots with you.
All right, fair enough.
But,
seasonal wise, right now the pumpkin just came out.
It's
you've
so
already had that. It's our Imperial Pumpkin Ale, and the Wee Bit of Trouble is the seasonal right now, which is a wee heavy Scotch ale. And then Trinity, the New England, is always my favorite.
The Wee Bit of Heavy just came out too. Correct?
Yeah.
That's the one you were talking about.
That was going to be my next one.
Yeah.
So I am a Flights fan, so I'll probably get a Flight. Matt is not a Flights fan.
I commit.
He sticks to one beer.
I'm
committing.
You're with me?
I'm committing.
Yes.
To 5. I want to try multiple beers.
You hear that, Chuggalos? Someone else that's with me and commit to a beer.
Try them by the pint.
Exactly.
I see that. I can get that.
That's just me.
But the last time, if he would have had 10 pints,
right.
he would have
been
been less than
I would have never been at home.
Carried him out of here.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So if you guys you guys are going to go after flights. I'm going to go after the Scotch. We could do, because the wee bit of heavy just came out.
I'm not going to go after flights.
Awesome.
Jeez, well, I guess. What am I supposed? I'll still do it. I'll just talk about. I'll talk about.
Do you want me? Do you need me to do
I
a
don't
flight?
need you to. I want to be the individual here. You know.
I want to step out on a limb. I want to get outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. You go pick your flight.
Yep.
And we are going to we'll do the Scotch, wee bit of Scotch as our review.
Okay.
Awesome.
I want to try the pumpkin ale.
All right.
Bold choice.
I said I'm going outside of my comfort zone.
So we need to pause or what?
I think you need to edit this piece out.
All right. It's edited.
Paused.
All right. The YouTube will keep going.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, everyone.
So later, I have everyone that participated in our top 3 fall go-tos, and I'm going to go over those results. So, Cobra, if you would write down your top 3 go-tos. I didn't put the question in there, but you'll see the usual suspects.
I do see that.
If JT's getting the next round, I'd like to fill up my keg on that.
Strohs.
Dude, it's so good. I'm almost through that case.
Strohs?
Yeah.
Do you like to drink them room temperature?
No.
Slightly chilled?
Slightly 30 minutes into it. It's awesome. This is such a great space. During this segment too, I'm gonna pitch Jason on our Ohio style beer. I did bring the artwork today.
Oh man.
So we're gonna do that live on camera.
I love this.
Maybe I should erase the little flag emblem where I have "Go fuck yourself," but to refresh.
I do remember, yeah. It's beautiful artwork. I hope it's exactly like that. Just literally. Just wrap it on a can.
Like what I did for old Rachel Ray's cake, where I just drew, they're like, give us an idea of what goes on the cake, and I just on this paper, I just drew a football and a bowling ball, and that's what they put on the cake. like they did this high impressive screen printing. I don't want to pump you up on that Witcher, but it's fantastic.
I'm excited.
Jason was saying they usually cinnamon the rim. I don't. It's fantastic without, and I love cinnamon. The weird thing is he's going to ask you for a nipple before he knows. You didn't get yourself one, sir?
Jeez, I didn't know there was such animosity towards flights. Man, I'm not a baby. Just drinking beer.
It's just fun because Jason's on my side.
Finally meets one person that agrees with them.
One person. My best friends won't agree with me, but I found one person. Well, I'd like to point out he's 7'8", so he counts as 2 people. When they measure distance between the table.
That into your own personality.
Yeah.
So 3 people. I got it.
Excellent.
Can't look at it yet.
I won't look at it.
I want it to be a surprise.
I put the top 3, and then did you see JT put a paragraph explanation?
Yeah, I didn't even bother reading it. I was just
Yeah.
like, whatever.
JT can't read
paragraph.
directions. Like, again, I don't want to look, but
I'll read them all.
after that apple. Jason, have you had Busch Light apple?
I have not.
Oh my goodness.
You're missing out, man.
You are missing out. So I like this. We can just do individualized reviews then. So you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to. I'm excited for this pumpkin.
He's right. We'll have to come back when we can have food.
Yeah.
I definitely. I will be here
Yeah. I want to
probably
try
much sooner than you fellows.
Cuban, the Reuben, the burger, green eggs and ham.
Do that. That burger looks great.
Should we sell? Should
Smoked
we
wings.
as
smoked
a
wings.
as a supporter of us? Should we sell him the Rubik's cube?
Yeah. Oh, we got to talk about the.
We got a lot to
Ohio
talk
style.
about. This is ambitious pod.
Yeah. We've got a lot of great opportunities here.
This is just an order. 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Pumpkin,
you.
wee bit, and Trinity.
All right.
It's intimidating because as JT, I'm glad that he transitioned and told you that we're not a pretentious podcast. So it's nice because we can talk in confidence when it's just the three of us. But when we have the brewmaster here and we're talking about flavor profiles, we're gonna be way off. So
we'll probably be off a little.
I'm gonna go last.
So are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, okay.
I didn't
know if we're, because we edited it out from the snap. I didn't know if we were going to snap back in.
I was talking the whole time. That's going to go wrong.
I'm just gonna have to.
Man, that's going to be tough to edit.
Okay, my bad.
Just going to have to find out where to go, where
Find
to
a good
start, where to
place.
stop.
Maybe not edit it. Let's just see how long it is.
Yeah.
And you may not have to edit it. I mean, it's not a big deal. Matt and I kind of chewed through the slow time.
Okay.
For a few
We
minutes.
carried it.
Good.
It wasn't a big deal.
All right, so we have our beer for segment 2. I have a flight. You guys have one.
Yep.
Beer each. I will say that the flight is has a, what is this? Like some sort of paddle, but it has a handle. It should be crooked. I think we talked about that last time.
Everybody says that. You're right.
No.
It should be.
I'm not right. You're right, because you did it.
That was a decision. That was made in the middle of construction. It's like this guy said, "I can do flight paddles." Like, yeah, go make those, and let me get back to what I'm doing.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, they carry the beer and they serve the purpose. But yeah, crooked,
it serves its purpose.
Would be better.
Is there what is crooked handle? What does that mean? So my wife calls it. She tells me when the toilet handle gets stuck down, it's a crooked handle.
And the water's running. So we started homebrewing, right? So crooked handle came from one of my original brewing partners was a bomb squad tech EOD for the Air Force, and he was actually deployed at the time in the middle of our brewing adventures here. When he came back, he decided that we needed a cool new wooden mash paddle. So he made one, and his bomb diffusion skills are better than his woodworking skills. So he holds this thing up, and it's crooked as a dog's leg. It's like, well, fuck it, we're gonna keep using it because it's making great beer. So we kept using it the entire time. We made all the flagship beers with it. Once we had decided to do this, we were sitting in a hotel room in Colorado after being at GABF. And
I was going to say.
Like, let's do it, man. Let's do it. So what do we need? Well, we need a name, and we need an LLC. And so we got on the computer, got on LegalZoom, started making a LLC. And the first question is company names. Like, I know we sit there for an hour staring at each other, drinking some beers, and he's like, "What about Crooked Handle? We made all that beer with that crooked handle mash paddle I made, and it just stuck, And I kept brewing with the same paddle up until maybe 6 months ago, and I finally broke the damn thing. And a buddy of mine made me that one, but we're going to use the other one. We're going to put it back together for a plaque on the wall.
Yeah, I was going to say you should.
Yeah, it'll get reused, but we brewed thousands of batches with that thing.
That's awesome.
And finally gave it up. So that's where the name came from, in a hotel room after a drunken GABF trip. And a woodworking mishap.
That's a great story.
It's a great origin story. Yeah.
And,
I was expecting it to just be, this tool has a crooked handle, so we named it that.
Yeah, we just looked on Google.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We just Googled look for something.
That was
that's
the history.
So you guys have what? What are you drinking?
The Wee Bit Heavy.
You've already dipped
Wee Bit of Trouble is the
Wee
full
Bit of
name,
Trouble.
yeah. Named after a drunken adventure with a Scotsman.
That's
another story that
is that one not
probably not can't be told on
not podcast friendly.
Podcast friendly, but it's hilarious.
So yes, I'm drinking that. So I went heavy with both my beers. So far, my warm up beer was the Witcher, and then now it's the Wee Bit, and there's a wee bit to discuss about this beer.
Yes. So I chose the Witcher, and these guys know that I am very much adamantly against seasonal fall beers. I just have a tough time.
Tell Jason the one ingredient that just nails on a chalkboard for you.
Well, that's coriander in a beer. I like coriander in food, but when it's brewed in a beer, I can't stand it. But coriander is not typically found in fall or harvesty or pumpkin type beers. That's not.
No, usually like a hef or a Belgian beers.
Yep. So I'm not worried about the coriander, but I intentionally wanted to step outside of my comfort zone because just to keep pushing it, and so I don't fall into the same old routine of drinking an IPA or reviewing a sour or something like that. Mm-hmm. So the pumpkin ale, man.
Yeah.
And then GT, what are you drinking?
I have the Witcher, the Wee Bit of Trouble, and the Trinity Haze, so I can relate on some capacity. So the Witcher's 8.1% and 25 IBU. The Wee Bit of Trouble is 9% and 20 IBU, and the Trinity Haze is 6%, 60 IBU.
And we warmed up. You and I warmed up with the Burrow Blonde.
Yes, we warmed up with the Burrow Blonde. I believe you did as well.
Yep.
That was very good. And it's a light. It's 4.9. That's why I started with it.
Yeah. It's just it's a good intro beer. Way to break the ice after work. So very good. So you want to go? I'll go ahead and step into this.
All right. Hand me the paper.
Yeah.
So I can do.
I'll go ahead and step into
This
this.
is going to be a lot of scoring for me.
So pumpkin ale, right? How do you impart the pumpkin flavor in it? How does that process go?
So this one I
Totally
get,
clueless.
it's actually canned organic pumpkin from DLM. It's their brand that I use for the pumpkin
Okay.
part. But the pumpkin itself doesn't really impart much flavor in the beer because people perceive the spices, right?
It's the
So-
spices,
right, yeah.
yeah.
So I also use the DLM pumpkin spice blend, and that goes at the very end of the boil,
Yep.
right at flame out. And then for when we go to package it, we add some vanilla extract to it as well to try and give some back sweetness to it.
Okay.
But it's primarily, I think there's, I have to look at my recipe now. Maris, I think, is in some of the base, and 2-row, and then some crystal malts for the color. And then the pumpkin does impart a little bit of color, but it's primarily the spices that come through. And we do typically serve it with a sugar cinnamon rim. Some people love it. Some people they just want the beer.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
So when I compare this to other fall beers, or I don't want to put it in the category of like Oktoberfest beers because it's just not the same. But pumpkin flavored fall beers, a lot of them come off like not balanced.
Yeah.
So, they're too sweet, or they taste burnt, or something just tastes off, and it just never really works for me. Actually, this is a very, very smooth beer, like very, very smooth beer. I'm enjoying this. I don't get too crazy into pumpkin spice lattes and pumpkin spice everything during this time of year, like that's everywhere. Last year I did grow my own pumpkins. I harvested them. I made my own pumpkin bread and pumpkin pies out of stuff that I grew, and I thought that was neat but wildly time consuming.
Yeah, it is. That's why
considering you just buy a can of it for 99 cents and it's no big deal.
Yeah.
It took a lot of time and effort to do that, and I'll probably never do it again. But I did learn a lot. But this is a really smooth beer. Matt was hyping it earlier. He's like, "Oh, it's good, and it's just like, all right, whatever. But this is a very smooth beer, and if you listen to previous episodes, the biggest thing for me in any beer is it's got to be balanced.
Yeah.
There's got to be a really good balance. I'm more of a savory guy, so when it comes to sweets, the sweet has to have a savory element to it to balance it out, and for me, that's done well in this beer.
Thank you.
This is a 4.0. This is a good beer.
And do you have a short just to get for the blonde? Thoughts on the blonde?
The blonde's great. It's just an easy drinker. It's just your after work, quick beer just to loosen the tie and crack a beer and move on to that next phase of the afternoon, right? Or you could drink it anytime.
Yeah.
It's an anytime drinking beer. Very smooth, crisp, refreshing. Let's score it. I'll score it at like a 3.75.
3.75?
Yeah.
That's our gateway beer. That's what
When
somebody wants a domestic or some easy drinking.
Yeah.
That's where we push. And we normally do have a Burrow Light, which is a lager that we do. It's seasonal, so we're out of it right now, going into winter, pulling these bigger beers out of the tanks. But yeah, the Burrow Blonde. We add a little bit of citra hops at the very end of boil to give it a little citrus note to it. But it's just an easy drinking, approachable beer.
My favorite is when I sit at the rail for a lot of my favorite haunts, and you come to a gorgeous facility like this, and people order like a Miller Lite.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm glad that you have something that but a lot of individuals aren't as skilled or professional as you, and they're like really, Edna, because I don't want to paint who this individual is, but maybe the 60s, 70s, somebody that's been set in their ways and been drinking the same swill.
Yeah.
Susan deals with it all the time at Seajax. So Seajax is a craft beer restaurant where the only thing that's on tap is craft beer, but they have Miller Lite, they have Bud Light, and they have like PBR and stuff like that in bottles. But customers quite often get very upset that it's not on draft.
Yeah.
It's like you're at a craft beer, restaurant, and it's like you can have it in a bottle. You can have your Miller Lite. That's fine. But they're very upset that it's not on draft.
Weird.
And it's
They get upset.
it's close to what you painted.
Yeah, Edna.
Yeah.
They're not listeners of this podcast.
Yeah,
so we can talk.
Not really.
We can
And that's
talk crazy shit.
well,
about
they should
it,
listen
and
to
it
it.
won't matter.
And JT, who
They've
is
got
not
nothing
an
better to
Edna,
do.
what are your thoughts?
The pumpkin, I think I have.
Do you need me to go while you still ingest, so
No,
you can just
I've
rattle
got the
them off?
pumpkin one down.
Okay.
I'll go one at a time. I agree with a lot of what Chris said. I think this has a sweeter taste than a lot of the pumpkin beers we've tried. I can taste the spice, but I think the spice in most pumpkin beers, particularly the Southern Tier, pumpkin. I've had a couple other ones recently. I can't pinpoint the brewery.
Probably Wehrbacher.
I wasn't a fan of the pumpkin.
remember
Pumpkin
when that
was
beer was
too
good.
spicy.
Have they changed the recipe?
It must have been 100 times.
It was too
Years ago, it
spicy,
was so
and
good.
I don't want that much spice. When I think of a pumpkin beer, especially when you're telling me you also have it on nitro, I'm thinking this is going to be pumpkin pie.
Oh man.
And pumpkin pie is awesome. It's a great, smooth, it's just got that fruity, sweet dessert taste. But the pumpkin beer that has been sold for so many years just isn't sweet. Mm-hmm. And this has a sweetness to it. And I don't know if that comes from the actual pumpkin you're putting in there, or if there's some sugar in the pumpkin spice that you get from DLM. But whatever it is, it's sweeter.
It's love.
It's love. It's a sweet love. And you know what? I love it. But I'm also at a 4.0 for that, and I'm at a 3.75 for the blonde. I do like the blonde, but like you said, it's kind of an intro beer. I'm at a 3.75. I think it's a great intro beer. So that's where I'm at with that. Now I'll go over to the next beer. So after you're done.
Awesome.
So I don't think I asked what you're.
I got the Trinity this time. That's
the
that's
Trinity.
my
Okay,
favorite,
so
yes.
I have all that.
We'll share that one together.
All right, so I'll go off the Witcher first. So I wanted to do. It's October for the mole people and the Chuggalos there, so I'm definitely in the mode where I want to have an October-inspired, fall-inspired beer. So I was definitely attracted to the Witcher Pumpkin Ale. Off the top rope, and Jason was illustrating that normally they put cinnamon on the top. I like the thought of the effect. I don't think it needs it. I'm at a 4 or 5. That it blows my mind how big it is at an 8.1.
Yeah.
But how easy drinking it is.
That's a good point. I did not consider the 8.1.
So and most of the pumpkin or October inspired beers like that can be a little bit bigger because they've got some tricks or some magic going on where they can hide the booze. That one's dangerous, and maybe with my expedition because you cannot taste the 8.1 at all.
I didn't consider that.
That's a good point. I didn't consider it either.
And that's a hallmark that we talk about. It doesn't have much of that warming effect that you get from the booze, and that's really desirable. And I like that it's carefully crafted with real pumpkin, because it's not, if you have an aversion to pumpkin or that isn't you, because people are either hot or cold on pumpkin.
If you have an aversion to pumpkin, I would suggest not ordering a pumpkin beer.
It doesn't punch you in the mouth though, so it could be like the gateway pumpkin beer. So off the top rope, I'm at a 4 or 5. That might be what I fill my growler with.
I will say our scores probably wouldn't change with the sugar and cinnamon, but I think that it would enhance.
And that's why you do it. You do everything for a reason.
Yeah. So that's where we're at in the pumpkin one. So now you're drinking the.
Yes. So then I'll kick off
Scotch
the second beer. So and this is why I cheated for the sheet, and I was hoping that there was something in here because this is where I'm going to be super embarrassed. So this beer is better than the previous one, and I get like an autumnal and I'm looking at the here's a rich, full-bodied and complex malt-driven ale. My tongue can't discern that, but I'll go into that for a second. Delivering a sweet caramel, I get that 100% beginning that finishes off with a wee bit of strong ale heat. I get that 100%. Is there plum in this beer? Is there some sort of fruit?
There's not, actually. It does come across that way.
Okay, so I'm not.
Yeah.
You wouldn't throw me out if I said that.
No.
Okay.
And we do barrel age that beer. That'll be out for our anniversary this year as well, and it really comes out great in a bourbon barrel. It adds a ton of character to it. But that beer, it's got some chocolate malt in it, some roasted barley, primarily a Maris Otter base, brewed with an English ale yeast, some oats. So there's a ton of stuff going into that beer. So it's a pretty complex malt bill.
And just something that's tough for me.
Sugars.
I just shut up there for a second to listen to Jason. I can feel like it permeate my palate still. Like it just sits there.
Yeah.
This is absolutely wonderful. This is better, and maybe I just lucked out. This is a off the top row. This is a 4.75. I was hoping. I'm glad that you said you kind of justified it without calling me a moron. But if the shoe fits, I get like plum or some sort of like autumnal like sweetness.
Raisin,
Plum raisin. But like just divine. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
This is a rich beer.
Are you drinking it also?
Yeah, I have it right here. It's rich. I had my very first sip. The word complex is 100% right. But what I get is pipe tobacco. It tastes like pipe tobacco. And to me, there's a nostalgia there. Because I used to smell that. Someone in my family used to smoke a pipe. I can't remember.
Let's say Chugalo mom. Let's say your mom.
My mom smoked a pipe. No, I can't remember.
Still does.
Right now. I know it was on my mom's side of the family, but I don't remember who it was. But it's like, boom, tobacco. And I'm like, whoa, this is like a tobacco beer. But you didn't mention it. But that's what I taste. The complexity is really good. And I don't have the sheet. What was this, a 9%?
9%.
Like,
I
you can't
didn't say
taste
that.
any of that.
Yeah, it's a big
It
one.
is so good. I was just a little higher than Matt at a 5.0. It's a perfect score. This beer is awesome.
This is.
try it?
I'm gonna come when this beer is, like you said, for
That's
your
gonna come.
anniversary.
It is so good.
That's a good one.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, we've got that sitting in a Woodford Double Oak barrel right now.
And Woodford.
So I'm
And-
glad when I said tobacco, you were shaking your head like maybe that's possible because I
Yeah,
was like,
for
man,
sure.
this is out in left field right now. 'Cause
And-
that's all I tasted. It was awesome.
And since now we're because I'm a bourbon guy also, I was looking at what they offer here at Crooked Handle. It's not just beer only. They do have liquor, and they have a good assortment of. They have Michter's, they have Maker's 46. They have a good assortment of. You offer a
Expecting it to be a little punched up.
old fashioned or
Yeah, we've got 8 or 10 different cocktails, some vodka, tequila based stuff, and then old fashioned Manhattan. We have a really great old fashioned, all handmade. Takes a few minutes, but it's good. Really
Will
good.
your staff call Ubers? That's important.
Yes.
Or your most
We've
terrible
We've driven people home before.
or your most terrible employee. It rhymes with Feb. Or Feed.
He's the backup driver.
Yeah, he's the backup driver.
If you have been on or are a member of the Brew Crew podcast, Steve will drive you home.
Steve will drive you home.
And he will love every second of it. He's a big fan. And we're big fans of his.
You can listen to the podcast on the drive home.
Yeah, episode 91 if you want to listen to Chugalo Stev being on the podcast. But Cobra, I think we're to you now again. Oh no!
Oh no, you did the pumpkin.
Yeah,
Still
we
got
did.
the
I
We're
pushed
on
it.
the-
I
we're on the
apologize.
IPA now.
I did have a sip of that.
Trinity.
So what do you think on that sip?
It's just one sip. It was really smooth. I was based on your review, based on his review, tobacco, plum, all this stuff. The description of it, I was expecting it to be like really punched up, something that kind of maybe triggers some pucker somewhere, but nope, just incredibly smooth.
Yeah.
So
For a 9.0, man.
Yeah.
So far, the two
Just wildly
bigger
smooth.
beers we've had here, not, over the top big, but, 8.1, 9.0.
8s and 9s are
They have been hidden.
Yeah.
big.
You can come here and just, it's like drinking juice.
Yeah,
wrecked.
they'll sneak up on
You
you.
get messed up here, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Good thing you guys started food.
When you
Yeah,
first
the
start,
food
yeah,
helps.
right. When you first start drinking and everyone's making all these like mixed concoctions or pouring all these bottles in like a 5-gallon Gatorade jug, and it tastes like Kool-Aid, and then you wind up throwing up and passing out later in the night. You could definitely have a little bit of that.
Sounds like a story. Maybe we need to revisit story time.
I didn't personally, but
know
that
that.
has happened.
For WAP or Jungle
There was my first Jungle Juice experience involved someone throwing up in the back of a car, the designated driver's car, which always sucks.
That sucks.
Because the designated driver is the volunteer of the night.
Man,
And
huge,
her car
huge
got
fines
red.
in
It
Uber
was
if you do
red.
that.
It was red puke. Well,
Oh,
Uber wasn't
gosh.
around back then.
I know, yeah.
This was 2003, 4.
Just sell the car.
Yeah. Yeah, just sell
just
it.
light
Yeah,
it on
yeah,
fire.
yeah.
Claim
Burn it
insurance.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get. So I want you guys to look at the menu, because after we get to segment 3 and we run Jason through his paces,
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna plan the perfect date night, and I want you guys to look at the menu, what you would order.
Okay,
and we'll get
that's
to
a
that.
good idea.
But
we still have the Trinity.
The Trinity. Okay, get to the Trinity.
Were you going to jump into segment 3?
I was going to jump into segment 3.
Let's wait. We still have the Trinity. That's what you're drinking.
Yep.
So you said it's your favorite here.
It is.
What do you like about it? So I don't know that. Have we done lemon drop hops on this show before? I don't think we have.
Trinity is a mainstay here, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
We reviewed Trinity.
It was your beer
I'm
said
probably going to say the exact same thing that I said last time.
No, I can't wait. Now I want to hear.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to go compare. Well, I want you to, Jason to talk first, and then I'll piggyback off that.
Yeah. So like I said,
I'll say all the expert things.
I like the New Englands. I go to more of the tropical hop versus the resin piney hop. I love the New Englands. This has been a really fun beer to evolve with. It probably tastes different than it did the first time you had it, I would assume.
I have no idea.
We'll find out. Well, we'll go back to the tapes.
All the
it's definitely evolved. Trying to keep these beers hazy with a soft palate, and then get that hop punch at the end. It's a process. So we've changed that a couple times, and the different levels of hops. We actually use a cryo hop now versus just a standard pellet. So it's a little more of an intense flavor. And I think it's probably the top seller here, that and the blonde.
Yeah. Okay.
So
wow, interesting.
Blondes are always top sellers.
I was curious about that. What was
My wife's blonde.
What was your biggest sellers here?
Yeah, it's typically this one, the blonde, and peanut butter porter will bounce up in there as well.
I love the peanut butter porter.
We said some really
popular.
high things about that last time we were here.
That's always a staple
Great
as well.
beer. So this is you just used the word, and I was like totally on board. I was like, yep, that's exactly how you describe this beer, and I forgot what it was. But this beer it's bright, I guess. It has so much of a punch in the IPA category. Mm-hmm. So I agree that I move away from the piney and more into kind of like the fruitier hop profiles. This one has what I sometimes refer to on the podcast is kind of like a BO hop. Kind of has like a BO taste to it.
He's not going to be a beer rep anytime in this.
This
one's got a
when we
BO
started
taste.
This podcast, I was the most novice of the three, and I'm still the most novice.
Tastes like the back of your knee sweat.
But there's hops. Some hops just have that profile that's like, well, this could be sweat, it could be hops. I don't know. Could be beer, could be sweat. But when you actually drink it, and I think that's what turns a lot of non-IPA drinkers off. When you actually drink it, this beer, it is sweeter. It's really good. It's got a lot of flavor. That's like I'm not pinpointing because I'm not sophisticated enough to do it. But this is a really good IPA. I don't remember talking about lemon drops hops.
Lemon drop hops. I don't know if we talked about.
Because I feel like we would say lemon drop hop a lot because that's kind of what we do. We just rhyme words and then say it. Repetitively.
It's a back burner for sure. The two primary hops of this is Citra Mosaic.
Citra, both big ones.
Yeah. That's a lot of the dry hop, and there's a ton of Whirlpool hop in this one as well.
Okay.
There's almost no early additions. Trying to keep the bitterness out. That's a trick with these is to get all that hop flavor and aroma without getting the IBUs crazy high to follow into that New England style.
Well, overall, I like it. I think the IPAs I tend to not like are the ones that dry out my mouth instantly, and this one doesn't do that. I wouldn't say that it's on the juicier end. We talk about juicy a lot. A lot of beers advertise themselves as juicy. I think it's right in the middle.
Fantastic segue.
Between dry and juicy.
Yeah.
But very flavorful. I mean, if you're into IPAs and you want something, you can't get this in a can. The flavors in this beer. You're not going to find this at Kroger or Arrow or wherever you shop for beer.
I'd like to help you out. If it dries your mouth out, order more than 2 ounces at one time.
Okay. If they didn't want you to get flights, they wouldn't sell them. What's my score? I like this IPA. I mean, it's not my favorite New England IPA, but it's very flavorful. I'm going to have 4.0 on this one.
4.0.
I would buy it again. I'd order it again here. Definitely.
What would you have off the menu with that beer?
With that beer? Mm-hmm. Oh man, that's a great question.
What do you think?
I've always struggled to find food to pair with IPAs. I feel like every beer is better with food than an IPA. But that's just been my experience. I don't like eating with IPAs.
Okay.
What would you order with the IPA off this menu? I mean, I'm going to tell you I want the Reuben, the Cuban, or the green eggs and ham. 'Cause those are the three things that I want to try here. It doesn't matter whether they go with the beer or not.
I'd have a burger. I'd have a burger with it.
Yeah, I can have a burger. I mean, I'll drink an IPA with a burger.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like it particularly goes well.
Okay. Yeah. That's.
I'm getting the CHBC.
Yeah,
I mean, you
that looks
have me on
good,
pure cheese and caramelized onions.
Yeah,
you could put that on a flip flop, and I'm eating that.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw an egg on there. Why
Yeah,
not?
and it's one of your best sellers, right? Too.
It is, yeah. It's up there.
Roasted mushrooms. Jeez,
Oh.
come on.
Yeah, it's good. I usually go for the
egg on it.
bacon
That's
blue
good.
bomber. Yeah,
Bacon
I
blue.
want that
I love
one
the blue
too.
cheese.
Oh, yeah.
I want all these. I'm gonna be here a lot.
We're gonna be back soon.
I will, but I'm 3 miles away, so I will be here.
You'll love the wings if you're a wing guy.
I'm gonna.
Our wings are killer.
I do love wings. Smoked wings are just like
Juggalo
wings,
stabs.
but better.
Keep an eye on him.
Yep.
Keep an eye on it. All right. So we're gonna go into a quick beer association. So I'm just gonna name something. Quick responses. You can do. I'm not gonna limit you to one word. You can do a phrase or whatever. But here's the first one. Are you ready?
We'll see. Let's do it.
Juicy.
New England.
All right. Citra hops, which is
Tropical.
excellent. Blue laws.
Terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Flights.
Not a fan.
Okay. Californian common.
Not a style I would get. Yeah.
You're just like 3 feet taller than me. This is awesome. Nitroed.
No.
Go ahead. I cut you off.
Not a fan. We've had them. I've had them here, brewed them here. I don't know. I think nitro kills the flavor. It ruins the aroma. I mean, it gives you a mouthfeel for sure, but
Yep.
Yeah.
I think if you put a beer on nitro and a carbonation, they taste completely different. The
Yeah, they
nitro
do.
tastes flatter to me, or more watery.
Yeah.
But
I can
you know,
see that.
That's my take.
And this is why we do beer association. All right.
yeah.
I think nitro improved at least one beer in my life.
What beer?
Peach Strudel.
Oh,
Oh,
peach.
really?
Oh.
Oh, really? We
It
had that
was
on.
really, really good.
We did have that on nitro here, actually.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, peach Dodo on nitros.
And they didn't have Dodo this year. They came out with
no,
Lodo
I-
or something. Which
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
Jeez. Delicious.
We're Rheingeist fanboys, that's for sure. All right. Oktoberfest.
Marzen. I like Oktoberfest beers.
Okay, now I didn't know this. This one was loaded from those guys. Sours.
Love them. Love them.
Budweiser.
Negative. Never been a Bud fan.
And then, excellent. And then this one's an ouch out to my colleague over there, Cobra. Ohio hops.
I haven't not much experience with them. I'm excited to try them as the farms grow, but honestly, they're so few and far between right now that
You haven't brewed anything with Ohio hops.
no, not yet. I have used Ohio malt, but the hops it just takes so long to get that farm going and to get any kind of yield out of it, and then
Right.
you got to have the testing in place so we know what we're brewing with. A lot of the guys use wet hops, which is fine. I don't think it puts a ton of flavor in for me personally, and you got to be like when they're picked, you got to be putting them in a kettle within a couple hours.
Right,
so
yeah, they can't.
There's a logistic issue there, but they're getting more and more. I think there's going to be some good choices here as the farms grow and start to get some actual yield. But there's also hops that won't grow in Ohio that we use that you're just fighting
Right.
with weather and climate.
Right. Yeah.
Well, you have a new high score on Beer Association. You scored 74,000.
Nice.
So excellent. Those points are redeemable anytime JT opens up his wallet. Just ask
Yeah,
him.
Right
just
on.
ask me, I'll give you points.
All right.
Love it.
Let's pitch the food. I know you asked him about his date. You're coming here with the Suze. What do you?
Am I ordering for me and Susan?
Yes. What do you
Okay.
think? What do you think she's ordering?
I love. Oh, okay. All right. First, I think we're gonna split some wings. We're gonna try some wings for
100%.
sure. And then I think that we may also split a wedge salad because we're both fans of the wedge salad. And then we'll probably deviate on burgers.
Jason, by the way, is going to award the best prize for
Okay.
the best menu and night.
So, the CHBC looks fantastic, but honestly, I've been looking at this French Connection more and more, and
Sacre bleu.
God almighty, that sounds delicious. So I'm going to have the French Connection. I think Susan would have the bacon blue, and I think that would round it out.
All right, what beer pairing? You're a big beer pairing.
Beer pairing, yeah. Great. Let's see. Let me look at the beer real quick. So we would start off with 2 Trinity Hazes, probably right out of the gate.
What's Sue's gonna drink? Because you're taking both Trinity. You got two. You have 2 hands.
She'll also have Trinity Haze. I'll probably swap to the peanut butter porter just because that was so good. I hold that in high regard here. I would assume that she may switch over. She may try the peanut butter porter, but she may do the IPAs. She may switch to the short fuse. Mm-hmm. She's more of a hophead than I am, so she would probably stick in the IPA area.
Excellent, awesome. JT,
Matt, all right.
Gatorade. You and Gatorade.
We're here. Gatorade does not eat meat. If you didn't know. So originally I thought appetizer would be jalapeno poppers before I realized that the VG designation on each of some of these items means vegetarian. So that has bacon, obviously, bacon wrapped.
So catering to vegetarians. Excellent.
So at least for the appetizer, we need to go with something we can both eat. So we'd probably get, how are your chips?
We fry them here.
You fry them here?
Right, yep.
That's good to hear.
Yep. And the potato chips. Saratoga chips are fried here.
We'd probably get the traditional nachos, the vegetarian. They're vegetarian. Mm-hmm. I would probably get. I do this thing where when I hit a new restaurant, I get the Reuben because that's how I want. That's how I figure.
That's
out
your baseline.
whether they're good or not.
That's your measuring stick.
That's a good.
But I'm really.
And what makes your
Cuban.
Reuben stand apart here? What do you guys do in house that you told us before?
We smoke the pastrami.
Smoke the pastrami in house.
I'd have to get the Reuben.
Yeah, it's really
so
good.
that's what I'm getting. I'm getting the Reuben. Katie's probably gonna get the Artie Delight, but she might get a salad. She's been exploring the black bean burgers recently.
We do have a
Not
plant-based
that I'm
burger
saying
as
that.
well.
Oh, you do?
We have
Is
a
that
Beyond
on here?
Burger, yeah, that can be added to any one of the
Oh,
sandwiches.
well then she'd probably get a burger.
Yep.
Because if it's it's Beyond Meat.
You can sub marinated chicken or
Okay,
plant-based.
that's good to know. Probably should have researched that before I gave my answer. So that's what we'd get for food. Lots of awesome options. I'm also really interested in the green eggs and ham. Is it green?
It is, yeah, the aioli sauce.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's my wife's favorite.
So okay, so it's the sauce and
Yep.
then it's on a sandwich.
Yep.
That's awesome. It sounds great. My wife would probably get a IPA, I would say, or she might try the peanut butter porter. Not sure how that would go with nachos. But she'd
Delicious.
get it. Yeah.
She's a gamer. She will.
Yeah.
She's a gamer.
Yeah.
She's been getting in as I progress in my beer,
Journey.
She does as well. We try stuff together. And with that, I don't know. I'd probably go back to that wee bit of trouble.
I want to
really, really good.
I want to revisit mine as well. just real quick. So you said date night, but also we like to go out for lunches.
Yeah.
And have a couple of beers during lunch and have a couple sandwiches. So I would also like to throw in the fact that we would come back for a lunch at some point and I would have a Reuben.
Yeah.
Or one of us would order the Reuben, one of us would order the Cuban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we would
would
probably
mix them together.
mix them and split and try them,
Probably
and
the
then
best
and then
idea.
honestly we would probably have some flights on that day, just to spread the love around and enjoy variety.
Flights.
Flights.
This guy knows what's up.
Yep.
All right, fantastic.
Flight or die. That's what me and JT say.
My better half and I walk in through the door. The first thing we're getting is the beer, cheese, and pretzel bites. We are both from Wisconsin, so
That's your measuring stick.
that's 100% our measuring stick. That and onion rings.
How would you
100% are both.
how's your beer cheese?
We make it here from scratch. It's
Love
good.
it.
The pretzels come
What-
from Philly Pretzel over in Centerville, so they deliver those fresh every day.
Oh, that's cool.
And
That's
then
really
we
good.
finish them out in the oven.
What beer do you
Yeah.
use in the beer cheese if we can
That's
ask?
what I was going to ask.
I believe they're using. Jeez, is it the short fuse now?
Use the Trinity. Make it bold.
Yeah, I think it is one of the IPAs. The fish sandwich, we hand batter those to order as well, and that is beer batter with the blonde. But I think he is using an IPA in the beer cheese.
Nice. You got to punch up the beer cheese.
Yeah.
I think.
I think so too.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, so my beer cheese that I make, it's got a cream cheese backbone because it melts better.
Yep.
I don't go as big and bold as you.
You go with a swill, right?
A lager or a Pils, just to
Okay.
give it some hardiness and some carry through, and then I finish it with some spring onions. But I'm probably wrong. It's just
no, you're right.
Remember
it's just
when
you get beer cheese at a brewery.
Remember the
I think
mega
it needs
pretzels
to be,
that they used to sell at Second Street Market, the mega
Oh, the
pretzels.
big monsters, yeah.
So
I never had that.
unfortunately that they closed down.
Yeah.
But that would be our lunch when my in-laws would come down from Wisconsin. We would almost destroy the whole pretzel, just the four of us. And I mean, I'm making a 5-quart pot full of beer cheese. Yeah, everyone's backed up for a couple days. It's fantastic for you guys. All right, so I'm ordering. This is why I'm encouraged. My wife is not too much of a beer drinker. She's a gamer, though. New Glarus is her So Spotted Cow. That's her jam. I'm a gamer though, and she'll go. That's why I'm excited because she's an old fashioned.
Yep.
100%. Catholic Wisconsin girl. So all the old fashions, just keep them coming for her.
so she's not getting a beer.
Maybe the blonde to match the blonde, but she won't have the hop heads or anything like that.
Interesting.
So onto the
That
sandwiches.
option exists.
Onto the sandwiches. So I'm getting the CHBC 100%, and my wife is probably getting. This is where she loses, but you guys are all winners, is because they love bacon here, and my wife doesn't like bacon. Fart noise and everything like that. So I think she's going with the roadside burner. I think she's gonna dig the peanut butter on it.
Yep. They make the peanut butter here. They caramelize
Is it
the
peanut butter cheeseburger?
candied
Oh, yeah.
jalapenos.
Yeah, right here.
Oh man, that's what my
And
kids
she
would order
and she's a
from.
big.
It looks crazy.
We put Havarti dill in our mashed potatoes. That's our secret to our
Oh
mashed
yeah,
potatoes.
Forsaid Havarti dill.
So-
that's good stuff.
I love Havarti. I like that Susan calls it Havarti.
Havarti, cousin of Pavarotti.
Right, exactly. Yep.
But
Half cousin.
so, Jason, you can pick the winner, or you could actually give us the right answer.
Yeah, the right
For, like when you come here with the misses, I know it might be too close, but like you guys are coming here, white tablecloths, everything, real fancy.
Sure. Well, like I said, I'm a blue cheese guy, so the bacon blue bomber is what I typically go to, and then we'll split an order of wings, and she gets the green eggs and ham. Almost every time. That's been her favorite for sure. It's hard for me to get away from the wings. They're
And the wing.
really good.
Yeah, it sounds,
The wings are what I'm
wings
getting
sound
when we
great,
come for
yeah.
lunch.
Yeah, I'd probably get the wings for lunch.
Yep. That's my jam.
Yeah. It all looks good. I'm gonna have to just come here a lot and just start eating here often.
Sundays we open earlier for lunch. We start at 1.
Get that church crowd.
Yeah, and then the rest of the week we do open at 4, but we're slowly adding more hours and days as we get staffed back up for all the craziness right now.
Is it tough when you have deadbeats like Chugloaf Fed that won't come in earlier?
He was here yesterday actually off the clock we're doing a beer dinner.
Sure you
Airing
are.
here at some
off the
point.
clock.
So
I don't
So
even.
yeah, well, I don't think he clocked in. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, he's a good guy. All jokes aside, but
He's a great guy. He's a
we're glad to have
awesome
him.
dude.
Glad to have him. He's doing a great job in the kitchen.
Chugloaf Fed, we'll get to your beer submission here in a couple of weeks. They're getting stacked up here. So, well, as a parting thought, Jason, we have a beer idea. So we drew
Yes.
some art.
Oh my God.
So what do you think of that? So instead of old style, Ohio style,
Yeah, there you go.
ignore the flag on it in the topper. But is this something? Does it have legs?
Here's how it came to be.
we make a
were talking
swill?
about New England. We were talking about West Coast. We're talking about all these regional associated beers. And we said, there's no Ohio style.
There's no Ohio
That's
style.
true.
Why
Yeah.
couldn't the Brew Crew podcast be a part of creating one?
Right.
And then we instantly thought Crooked Handle. They
So-
could do this. You could create the Ohio style beer.
You're the first official person we've showed this to
Yeah.
outside of the three of us.
Official.
Official.
Do I have to sign an NDA or anything?
No. This is not in the least.
camera.
You're
Off
in,
camera.
yeah. All the legal stuff, roll a GT, edit in the legal stuff.
Yeah.
But that was just our idea, just, Ohio swill.
Well, once you guys come up with a style and some ideas, then let's throw it in this experimental brew club program and put it on the wall.
Oh my God! Yes,
See if it
let's
sells.
do that.
It's happening. It's happening. We
The
told
wheels are
our
in motion.
Yeah.
Within a year or two, people will refer to a certain style of beer
Yeah.
as Ohio style.
I hope decades from now,
we'll-
people are just
yeah.
like, I hope like Japanese businessmen sit around in Japan eating sushi with Ohio style because it's just complementary to everything worldwide.
Yeah.
This is, I move, when we do the BCP blowout in February, this is where we start and get a good base. We start with the food.
Oh,
And
that's
then-
a great idea.
Because the money we're throwing into it, we have the transportation. We can organize the transportation for everyone. We start here in February. It's my thought. I'm just,
I like that.
that's,
idea.
that's
Well,
my
we have to
parting
make sure
thought.
that we can have groups. You know, so we promised our listeners if we get to 10,000 listens,
And we already
would
did.
have a blowout where a good portion of the night is paid
Yeah,
for.
we set a
By the
goal
podcast.
by the end of this calendar year.
Yeah.
We wanted to achieve 10,000 listens, and we achieved it about 2 weeks ago.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
So
so we're
we're far
congrats.
ahead of schedule.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
We're getting more and more listens. The listenership continues to grow, which is fantastic. But yeah, we did incentivize everyone to listen by the fact that we're going to throw down some serious cash
Yeah, right.
to celebrate with all the we call all our fans, anyone that listens to Chuggalo, so all the Chuggalos can come and celebrate with us. Obviously, COVID has dampened that a little bit, but we always intended for it to be in January or February, maybe, sometime around that time frame. Maybe by then, vaccines will start rolling out. Who knows? But either way, we're going to do it. I think that's great, especially if we can roll out some Ohio style.
Oh yeah,
Badass.
we have to gin up the
Yeah,
plans.
I'm
but-
serious. Let's work out some details. We can do a half barrel of it on the experimental and see what it's made of.
Wow, I just
awesome.
happened to mention it as a flippant comment, but Jason, the floor is yours as we're closing out. Anything you want to pitch the Chuggalos, the thousands of listens and everything? Anything you want to leave with us?
I mean, I appreciate you guys having me in. I'm sorry I missed you guys the first time around, but this has been great. I love getting the word out about Crooked Handle and everything we're doing here. And just support all the local breweries. We're all going through some shit right now. So
Yeah.
if you can get out
Definitely.
there, whatever it is, carry out, take out. There's 20. I think we're up to 23 or 4. I don't know. I'm just now starting the passport program for this year or 2021 next year. So they're growing. There's a lot of us around.
Yeah, we've been pushing that message hard this year,
Yeah.
especially this year. Support your local brewers, absolutely. So,
Yeah, if you're not ready to come out yet, that's cool. Get a gift card. You get them online, use it
Yeah.
later, send it to a friend.
Yep.
Whatever it is. But you can come out, check out the food, check out the beers. We got whiskey, wine, cider, cocktails, whatever you want. Something for everybody.
Yeah.
Even flights.
Even
Even
flights.
flights.
Even flights.
Awesome. So for more information, please go to crookedhandle.com. Chuggalo, Stev, you may not have a job anymore. That remains to be seen. And JT, take us home.
That's it. I mean, that's the podcast, right? Come to Crooked Handle, Springboro,
Yeah.
Ohio. That's the key there. Support your local breweries. If you don't know if you live in Dayton or you come to Dayton, which I hope everyone who's listening out of state comes to Dayton, enjoys our great beer, get the Ohio or the Dayton Beer Trail pamphlet. It will tell you all the breweries. You can go to each one of them, and at the end, you get yourself a free beer stein. It's a fantastic journey. I've
Thanks for
already
hosting us.
completed
Of course.
several
Thank you.
events.
Thank you.
That's,
My
yes,
pleasure.
that was the last thing there. Thanks for hosting us. Thanks for letting us come here. Enjoy your beer. That's it. Come to Crooked Handle.
Thank you.
Brew Crew Podcast, episode 108.